Hail the first. The name of its doorkeeper is Sekhet Harsht Aru. The name of its watcher is Metihe. The name of the herald. Now those who rise up against me, and their evil among them, the powers of darkness of Sut are, when there is strife among them, for strife is flame. May it be granted to him by the decree of those who are in tattoo to destroy the souls of his enemies. And it is Ha, Kuru, saith Ani triumphant when coming to Hall the first. I am the mighty one making his light. I have come to thee, Osiris. I adore thee, purified from thy foul emanations. Lead on. Do not thou make the name of Re-stau to him. Homage to thee, Osiris, in thy might, in thy strength, in Re-stau. Rise up, conquer thou, Osiris, in Aidiodos. Thou goest round heaven, thou sailest in the presence of Ra, thou seest the Rekhet, all. Hell revolveth Ra in it. Verily I say, Osiris, I am a ruler divine. I say, let it be that there is no repulse to me at it. At its wall of burning coals, I have opened the way in Re-stau, easing the pain of Osiris, making to enter that which hath weighed the standard, making his way in the valley, great one making the way, shineth Osiris. Hail the second. The name of its doorkeeper is Unhat. The name of its watcher is Sekhet. Ra. The name of the herald in it is Do the height of the desire of his heart, and weigheth words as the second of Thoth. The virtues of Thoth, making to be needy the Mata gods hidden, who live upon Mat in their years. I make offerings at the moment of his making his way. I pass on. I make an entrance on the way. Grant thou that I may pass, that I may accomplish the sight of Ra with those who make offerings. Hail the third. The name of its doorkeeper is Kek Hautu en Pehu. The name of its watcher is Se Res Ra. The name of the herald in it is saith Osiris Ani. I am hidden in the great deep, O judge of Raihu. I have come, and I have destroyed the defects for Osiris. I am binding up his standard, which cometh forth from the crown. I have established things in Abydos. I have opened the way in Rastu. I have eased the pain of Osiris. I have made to balance his standard. I have made the way. He shineth in Re-stau. Hail the fourth. The name of its doorkeeper is Kevsev. Ha, Ast, Keru. The name of its watcher is Seres Tepu. The name of the herald in it is Kesef. At saith Osiris, the scribe Ani, triumphant, I am the bull, the son of the ancestress of Osiris. Grant ye that may give evidence for him, his father, the Lord of his divine companions. I have weighed in judgment the guilty there. I have brought him life to his nostrils forever. I am the son of Osiris. I have made the way. I have passed there into Neterkert. I have the fifth. The name of the doorkeeper is Anka F. Mfet. The name of his watcher is Shabu. The name of the herald is It in Tebhra Kaha. Kefta. Saith Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant, I have brought thy jawbones into Rastu. I have brought for thee thy backbone into Heliopolis, gathering together his many fragments there. I have repulsed for thee Epet. I have poured water upon the cuttings in the flesh. I have made a way among you. I am the aged one among the gods. I have made the offerings of Osiris. Triumphed hath he with victory, gathering together his bones, collecting his limbs. Hall the sixth. The name of its doorkeeper is Atektu Kehekreru. The name of its watcher is Anhra. The name of the herald in it is Ates. Hra, saith Osiris, the scribe of Ani, I have come daily, twice. I have made the way. I have passed along that which created Anubis. I am the lord of Eri crown, without magical words. I, the avenger of right, have avenged his eye. I have bandaged the eye of Osiris for him. I have made the way. Hath passed Osiris Ani with you in Hall the seventh. The name of its doorkeeper is Sekhem Matenu Sen. The name of its watcher is Makheru. The name of the herald who is in it is Haseph Kemi, saith Osiris Ani. I have come to thee, Osiris, pure from thy emanations. Thou goest round heaven, thou seest Ra, thou seest the Rekhit, only one. Behold, thou art in Sektet boat. He goeth round the horizon of heaven. I speak that which I wish to be his mummy. It becometh strong. It cometh into existence as he speaketh. Thou turnest back his face. Make thou for me ways all prosperous before thee. Words spoken one cometh to Pylon the first, saith Osiris Ani. Triumphant, lady of terrors, lofty of walls, sovereign lady, mistress of destruction, disposer of words which repulse destroyers, delivering from destruction the traveler along the way. The name of its doorkeeper is Nerut. Words spoken when one cometh to Pylon the second, saith Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant, lady of heaven, mistress of the world, devourer, lady of mortals. How much greater is she than all peoples? Name of the keeper, its door, Mestfet, is words spoken when one cometh to Pylon the third of the house of Osiris, saith the scribe Ani, triumphant, triumphant, lady of the altar, mighty one of offerings, beloved of God every, sailing up to Abydos. The name of its doorkeeper is Sebek. Words spoken when one cometh to Pylon the fourth, saith Osiris, the scribe Ani, prevailer with knives, mistress of the world, destroyer of the enemies of the still, heart, making the decree of dismal, of the needy from harm. The name of its doorkeeper is Neku. The words spoken when one cometh to the Pylon the fifth, saith Osiris, the scribe of Ani, flame lady of breath for the nostrils. Not shall one advance to entreat her, not shall one come into her presence. The name of its doorkeeper is Hentet. Aruki, words spoken when one cometh to Pylon. The sixth saith Osiris, scribe Ani, lady of light, mighty one of shoutings, not is known of her breadth or her extent, not hath been found the like from the beginnings. There is a worm upon it, not is known how great. It was born in the presence of the still heart. The name of its doorkeeper is Samanti, words to be spoken when one cometh to Pylon the seventh, saith Osiris, scribe Ani, garment, clothing the feeble one, weeping for what its love is hideth. The name of the doorkeeper is Sakti, words to be spoken when one cometh to Pylon the eighth, saith Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant, fire blazing, not to be quenched the flame, provided with flames far-reaching of hand, slaying, not to be gainsaid, not one pass over it through fear of hurt thereof. The name of its doorkeeper, chef words to be spoken when one cometh to Pylon the ninth, saith Osiris, Ani, the one who is at the front, lady of strength, who quieteth the heart of Meset, her lord, measures 350 in circuit, clothed with mother of emerald of the south, rising up, the divine figure, clothing the feeble one. Food, face every. The name of its doorkeeper is Ari Su Techef, words to be spoken when one cometh to the pylon the 10th, saith Osiris Ani, high of voice, raising cries in those who make entreaty, fearful one in her terror, not feareth she whoever is within it. The name of its doorkeeper is Sekten-Ur. Pylon the 11th, repeater of slaughterer, burner of fiends, terrible is she at pylons all, making rejoicing on the day of the darkness. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged, feeble one, Pylon the 12th, invoking the two earths, destroying those who come with light and fire, lady of splendor, hearkening to her lord day every. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 13th, hath stretched Isis her two hands and arms over it, making to shine, happy in his hidden place. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 14th, lady of the knife, dancer upon blood. I make for her the festival of god Hak on the day of hearing crimes. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 15th, souls, bloody or terrible, who inspect and who scrutinize, coming forth by night, fettering the fiend at his corner, may be given their two hands, too, the still, heart in his moment, making advance and coming on to it. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 16th, saith Osiris, when he cometh to Pylon this, terrible one, lady of the rain storm, placer of defeat in the souls of mankind, devourer of the dead bodies of mankind, ordering coming forth and creating slaughters. She holdeth an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 17th, hacker in pieces in blood, lady of flame. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 18th, lover of fire, purifier of sinners. She loveth slaughter, president of those who adore, lady of the temple, slaughterer of the fiends in the night. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 19th, disposer of light in her period of life, mistress of flames, lady of the strength and writings of Thoth himself. She is holding an inquisition of the badges of Pan. Pylon the 20th, she who is within the cavern of her Lord. Clother is her name, hiding her creations, carrying away hearts, devouring water. She is holding an inquisition of the banges of Panan. Pylon the 21st, knife cutting when it is uttered its name, making the slaughter of those who advance to her flames. She is possessing schemes hidden. Speaketh Anmatuf. He saith, I have come to you, O divine chiefs, mighty who are in heaven, earth, and the netherworld. I have brought to you Osiris. Ani, not hath he sinned against gods any. Grant that he may be with you day every. In adoration of Osiris, Lord of Arastu, and of the cycle of the gods great, which is in Nexert Skirt, Osiris the scribe Ani, he saith, homage to thee, president of Amentet Unnefer with Adidos. I have come to thee, and my heart possesseth right and truth. Not is there sin in my body, not have I spoken lies with knowledge, not have I acted with motive double. Grant thou to me cakes, and coming forth in the presence at the altar of the lords of right and truth, a going in and a coming out from Neterkethert, not being driven away, my souls from the sight of the disk, the sight of the moon forever twice. Speaketh Smer, he saith, I have come to you, O divine chiefs who are in Ra-Stu. I have brought to you Osiris Ani. Grant cakes, water, wind, an estate in Sekhet, Hetep, as to followers of Horus, an adoration of Osiris, Lord of everlastingness, and of divine beings, Lord of Rastu. Osiris, scribe Ani, he saith, homage to thee, king of the nether world, prince of Hakert, I have come to thee. I know thy plans. I am provided with thy forms in the nether world. Grant thou to me a place in the nether world, near the lords of right and truth. My estate, may it be permanent in the Sekhet Heptep. May I receive cakes before thee. Hail, Toth, making victorious Osiris over his enemies. Make victorious Osiris over his enemies, as thou madest victorious Osiris over his enemies before the divine beings who are with Ra and with Osiris and Heliopolis on the night of the things of the night that of the battle of making the fettering of the Sabu, day that of destroying the enemies of Nebercher. The divine chiefs great in Heliopolis are Tamu, Shu, Tefnut. Now the fettering of Sabau, the destruction of the fiends of Set, is the second time he wrought evil. Hail, Toth, making victorious Osiris against his enemies, make to triumph Osiris, Ani, against his enemies before the divine beings great, who are in Tatu, on night that of making to stand up to Tet in Tatu. Now the divine chiefs, great, who are in Tatu, Osiris is, Isis is, Nephthys is, and Horus is, the avenger of his father, now making to stand up to the Tet in Tatu, is the shoulder of Horus, president of Sekhem. They are behind Osiris in the form of bandages of clothing. Hail, Toth, making victorious Osiris over his enemies. Make victorious Osiris Ani, triumphant over his enemies before the divine chiefs, great who are in Sekhem, on the night of the things of the night in Sekhem. Now the divine chiefs, great who are in Sechem, Horus, Keti, Ma, and Toth, are with the divine chiefs of Narutuf. Now night that of the things of the night of the festivals, the daybreak is at the sarcophagus of Osiris. Hail, Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Make to triumph Osiris, the scribe Ani, over his enemies before the divine chiefs, great in Pet and Tept, on night that of setting up the columns of Horus, and of making him to be established here, heir of the things of his father Osiris. Now the divine chiefs, great in Pet and Tep, Horus is, Isis is, Mestha, and is happy is. Now the setting up of the pillars of Horus, the saying of Set is to his followers, set up columns upon it. Hail, Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies, making to triumph Osiris, the scribe Ani, triumph is he over his enemies. Now the divine chiefs, great in Tatu Raki Isis is, Horus is, and Mestha is, Hail, Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies, make to triumph Osiris, the scribe Ani, triumphant in peace over his enemies before the divine chiefs, great in Adios on night that of Hacker, at the separation of the dead, at the judgment of the good spirits, at the coming into existence of cries of joys in Teni. Now the divine chiefs, great in Abydos, Osiris is, Isis is, and Aput is. Hail Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Make to triumph Osiris, the scribe, the accountant of the divine offerings of gods all. Ani, over his enemies before the divine chiefs who judge the dead on night, that of making the judgment of those who are annihilated. Now the divine chiefs, great in judgment of the dead. Toth is, Osiris is, and Anubis is, and Asten is. Now the judgment of those who are annihilated, the imprisonment of things is for the souls of the children of impotent rebellion. Hail Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Make to triumph Osiris. The scribe Ani, triumph over his enemies before the divine chiefs, great in the festival of breaking and turning up the earth in tattoo. On night, that of the festival of breaking and turning up the earth in their blood, and making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Now the divine chiefs, great in the festival of breaking and turning up the earth in tattoo. The coming of the fiends of Set is when they their change of form into animals. They are slain in the presence of the gods those, and being smitten down their blood floweth among them. Are granted these things by the judgment of those who are in tattoo. Hail Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Make to triumph Osiris Ani over his enemies, before the divine chiefs, great in the Nahertef, on night that of making secret the forms. Now the divine chiefs, great in Nahertef, Ra is, Osiris is, Shu is, and Bebi is. Now night that of making secret. The forms is the presence. At the sarcophagus of the thigh, the heel, and the leg of Osiris, Un-Nefer. Hail Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Make to triumph Osiris Ani, triumphant before Osiris over his enemies, before the divine chiefs great and Re-Star on night, that of the lying of Anubis, with his two hands over the things behind Osiris, and of making to triumph Horus over his enemies. Now the divine chiefs, great in Re-Star, Horus is, Osiris is, and Isis is. Osiris his heart rejoiceth, Horus his heart dilateth with joy. The two regions are at peace through it. Hail Toth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies. Make to triumph Osiris, the scribe, accountant of divine offerings of gods all. Ani, triumphant over his enemies before the divine chiefs, great ten with Ra, with Osiris, with God every, goddess every, before Nebuchadnezzar. He hath destroyed his enemies, he hath destroyed evil all belonging to him. If be said, chapter this, the pure one cometh forth by day after death, and he maketh the form which would give his heart. Now if be recited chapter this all over him, strong it maketh him upon earth. He will come forth from fire every, not shall encompass him thing any or evil, any which appertaineth to him with unbroken regularity millions of times.